What's happening?
We got it. Yo,
What's
I'm
happening?
like, I said, IG, we can't be tripping today, man. This conversation is way too
Right, right,
important.
right, right, right,
Too many
right,
people checking in, man. But
right, 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 of
listen,
course.
I appreciate you doing this with me, man. This is the Making Plays convo, and we just gonna be talking about all the plays that you was making before the pandemic, what you're doing now, and
Hmm.
what you plan on doing once everything is hopefully gets back to normal. But I always like to ask, how are you and your family doing? How your kids doing?
Everybody's good, man. Can't complain. I have parents that's 77 and 78 years old. So,
Mm,
I'm, keeping a watchful eye on them. They live like an hour and a half away from me. So, they're fine. Kids fine. Everybody's good. You know what I mean? The whole family's good. Just I don't go too many places anyway. I go home studio. So, that's pretty much it. But everybody's good, that we're safe and everybody's okay. So, yeah.
That's awesome, bro. Well, I mean, you've been making such great plays for a long time. I mean, you produced for some of the biggest and best artists in the world. You got the label popping. You are a college professor. You got the Fass Auntie Lounge popping, and
Yeah.
then you just we're gonna talk about that. And then you just put out an incredible song with Anthony Hamilton that
Right.
back together. What else were you working on before everything kind of shut down?
Um, we were preparing to, my label Jamla Records, we were preparing to have a year long of, a year full of releases,
Mm,
with the artists that I have. And we were preparing for that, you know what I mean? Trying to get ready to put out all this music. Rhapsody was preparing to do, she just came off her domestic tour. She was about to do an
right.
international run. So, we were all in getting ready for that. And, that's one side of it. The other side of it, I'm heavily involved in basketball. So,
Right.
my child, she plays all girls 16U basketball team. I have
Hmm.
a great relationship with Nike. So I was getting ready for the EYBL season,
Mm,
basically watching the future of the NBA. So my whole summer was around those two things. And now
hmm.
of course it's changed and,
Right.
and then at the same time I was teaching in class. Then I went from teaching in class to out of class. So I'm on
Yeah.
Zoom with students and trying to get that straight. And we're going into the fall and trying to figure the fall out now. So it's a whole lot. So yeah.
How are you adjusting to everything? Like, how have you had to shift as far as your plans on the music aspect and the basketball aspect?
Um, with the basketball first, it changes everything. A
Mm,
lot of times this is a great time for coaches to recruit players to travel around, to go to gyms. This is we're in May, so this is high travel basketball season, and
right.
this is high AAU season
Right.
across the country. So that's kind of changed a whole lot on how what we do as far as going around looking at teams, looking at I'm really in the gym all of this
Mm,
time, so that's changed a lot, and it's definitely, like I said, changed how college coaches recruit. They're leaning more on online and YouTube and stuff like that. They're training through Zoom. My daughter
wow.
has participated in a lot of Zoom trainings with a lot of trainers and stuff like that. So that's changed a lot.
Right.
As far as the music is concerned, the only musical component that we're missing is the actual interaction. Like we can't go to your breakfast clubs or your Sway in the Mornings, or we can't
Right.
go do any of that. If we put
Right.
out an album, there's no way we can go on these particular shows that's now used as a rite of passage. Whether it be High 97, whether it be Breakfast Club, whether it be
Mm,
Genius, whether it be whatever, we can't do any of that now. That's out.
right.
So unless we're doing it like we're doing now.
Yeah.
But as far as making the music, this is the best time to make it,
Mm,
because one thing's for certain. If you want to verse for somebody, no artist can tell you that they got a lot of stuff to do. Everybody's
that's
in the
right.
house.
Right. 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 Right.
You're in the house in front of your microphone or whatever setup you got. This is the best time to get music done. This is also the best time for people as consumers to like sit down out of their busy time to consume music, right?
Yeah.
This is the best time for that. I mean, this is, if you're a Netflix or a Disney or a Pandora, whatever your streaming platform is,
Yeah.
This is the best. You're killing right about now. This is the best time to have somebody's full undivided attention to put out the art, right? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
we talk about that a lot, and you know, this is a good time to benefit from it. But the rest of it, everything that comes around the marketing, you got to go ahead, you got to do radio
Yeah.
runs, all this kind of like out, and that kind of hurts.
Definitely. How do you think artists are going to have to adjust moving forward, given the fact that they can't move around and they can't do shows right now? We don't know when live shows are coming back. And that's a large source of revenue for many of the artists today.
You know what's crazy? You know, we talked about that too. We have a lot of conversation in the studio. One of the conversations that I always talk about is this is a time when the artist is really going to have to show their art. Like you have no, it's like everybody's on an even playing field almost.
Right.
You have no, all of the marketing and traveling around and all of the setup that you have that a lot of artists have that a lot of artists don't have, because you're in this. There are have and there have nots, and the haves get all the benefit of the label, sending them everywhere and doing this and putting them at, whether it be an album release or a movie premiere or whatever, or Met Gala and all this stuff.
Right.
The rest of us don't have that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the only thing that ties us together and the only thing that makes it all an even kill now is the music. There's no way that you can, I don't need to say fool, but there's no way that you can kind of get over the hump of just doing something on IG and it's cool. Like, it has to be more than that. Now you have to really think about the art instead of the show, because the show has been taken away. So that's and people are seeing it. People are, because usually if somebody drops an album, they have a whole lot of fanfare around it.
Yeah.
And now the fanfare is gone. Now we're back to, it's kind of like we're back to 1995. It's like your music is now back to center of the universe, which now in 2020, before all this happened, the music wasn't the center of the universe. It was the music, who you were dating, what kind of car you had, with this, with that, whatever.
Yeah.
Now the music is now the center of the universe, and now everybody's like, well, I got to make something dope, because now this is all I got to show, and if this is not good enough, then I'm in trouble. So and a lot of people are figuring that out across the board, across music and Hollywood. They now trying to figure it out, because now the show is taken away, and the only thing that's left is the art.
Oof, you said a lot right there, my brother.
Right.
No, that's some real talk though. I gotta get into that new song that you made with Anthony Hamilton, Back Together. I mean, you did it again. You flipped that Fire and Desire by Rick James and Tina Marie. I gotta ask, how did that song come about, first and foremost?
You know, just a regular day in the studio making beats. And,
just a regular day. I love it.
I mean, that's what it is. Making beats, man. And I flipped it a long time ago on a different console, and I liked it, but I wanted to try it again. And I did it again, and it came out much better. And Anthony Hamilton came to the studio like maybe 6 months afterwards. Sometimes when I make a beat and I send it out, that's not the first. It's not like I make the beat, it goes out, ooh, it's a song. Like, it takes a while for that beat to even find a home. So
even for you, as established as you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, because you got to think, if I'm an artist, I got beats from everywhere, and artists sometimes they'll have a beat. I think I read one somewhere that Kendrick Lamar had the beat for All Right for 6 months before he did anything to it.
Damn.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a process, because you know it's a good beat, but you know you want to do the right thing to it. So that's the thing. So it's sad. I sent it around a couple of places. People like, oh, it's hot, but it's still kind of sad. I never, whatever.
Right.
So Anthony Hamilton, he and I share the same manager, right? Eli Davis. And he had been trying to get us to do something together for a long time, and it had nothing to do with anything but schedule. And we finally found free time in the schedule when he came to the studio, and he sat me down and we talked, and I was like, what direction you want to go? Because I said, me personally as a producer, I want to take you another direction. He said, well, man, that's why I came to you. I want to do my version of my life. And I was like, oh.
Oh, wow.
I said, wait a minute. And if anybody knows anything about my life, is the great Chucky Thompson, who produced the majority of that record, is the one that actually taught me how to do R&B, to take hip hop loops and drums and put melodies over them, right?
Okay.
And because we
Okay.
saw that with Mary J. Blige, and I was like, yeah, okay, good. So
Yeah.
we started doing records, and I was just chopping up drums and sampling, and he was singing over it, and I was like, man, ain't nobody ever heard you like this, bro. Like, this is a
Yeah.
different you. And he's like, yeah, yeah. And so with the Back Together joint, we were about to leave because he don't start recording till like 12, 1 in the morning. We like, right. So he's recording, and so it's 3 o'clock. We about to leave. He said, play me one more joint. And I played him that one. And he was like, oh, that's it. So he started to sing while I was playing the beat. I said, go in the booth, man. And he went in the booth, and he did it all off the top of the head. And he sang around Rick James saying, leave him. He sang around that.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, bro, this is a lot. This is a whole lot. So if my man Ruben in the chat said, yeah, I can vouch for I was there. Yeah, we was asleep. Like he was in here about to pass out. So that's how Back Together came about. And
yeah.
you're going to hear a whole lot more records that sound like that too.
Whew. I mean, it's an amazing song, and that's an amazing story. And for anybody who's in here, if you haven't listened to the song, definitely go to Pandora and stream it. But whatever streaming platform you got, make sure you listen to that record and add it to your playlist, because it's something special. So I got to ask you, what is your creative process? Because you have made such a wide variety of beats for so many different types of artists. I mean, everybody from Jay-Z, Memphis Bleak, Mary J. Blige, Destiny's Child, Boot Camp Click, Kendrick Lamar, Royce the 5'9", 2 Chainz. The list goes on. I'll be here all day naming it. But how do you go about in your creative process?
I don't know, man. I try to find my place. If I'm doing a record on an album, I try to find my place in it. I think that what taught me that was when I did the Jay-Z record for the first time, and trying to find my place in this is 2003, right? So I'm trying to find my place in the midst of Timbaland, Pharrell, Just Blaze, Kanye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
DJ Quick.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. So once I was accepted in that spot by doing me, then after that came Destiny's Child, and I remember asking Beyonce, I said, what do you want from me? Like, what do you want me to do? And she said, we got you here because you do what you do best. And I was like, yeah, that's it then. So I try to, and what's crazy is I produced for a record for Destiny's Child and for MOP in the same year, which means those are two different demographics.
Two different demos on the opposite side of the world.
I did 3 for Destiny's Child, and then I did 1 record for MOP called Instigator.
Yeah.
2 different messages, 2 different sounds from the actual artist, but kind of the same sound from the producer. And I just told myself that, soul is universal. This type of soul works for anybody. And I just went from that. So that's my creative process, man. I try to find something that if I find a sample, I'll say, oh, this feels like a Busta Rhymes, or this feels like and I'll try my best to imitate the actual artist so I can hear it.
Yeah.
So that's my creative process, and that's where it really starts. So I'll go out, or I'll say, I need to find samples that I can hear Black Thought over. I need to find samples that I can hear Rhapsody over. I need to find samples that I can hear Kendrick Lamar over. And, but that takes a study. That takes for you to study all of their albums, all of their music, and see what tones sound great over certain samples. And that's my process.
That's dope right there, man. I know a lot of people ask you about like Jay-Z and Kendrick and the Destiny's Child, but I actually want to ask you about that Face the World song that you did with Nipsey Hussle that was on it. On his Crenshaw project. Rest in peace to the great late Nipsey Hussle. How did that song come about, and how was it working with him?
I first met Nip in 2009 at One Stop Shop Producer Conference. This was a conference that Shaw Money XL from G Unit used to throw out in Arizona. Was a bunch of producers there and he brought Nipsey Hussle. I mean, not he didn't, but his Nip's manager at the time brought Nip and took Nip around to meet all the producers. And this is me, Knox, Don Cannon, Just Blaze, the RZA.
Wow, wow,
Yeah,
yeah.
that conference was crazy. And he took Nip around, and I first met Nip, and Nip was one of the first artists that I heard call me OG. This is 2009.
Wow,
right?
Yeah.
So now I'm entering into a space of going from being a new producer to there's a whole legion of artists that grew up listening to me.
Yes.
So if we count 6 years, 2000 or longer than that. If we count 2001,
right,
2009, 10, that's 9 years worth of rappers that's now listening to my beats on YouTube that I'm not even understanding what's going on. Nip was one of those.
Yeah.
Nip, Big Sean,
yeah,
Crit, Mac Miller, rest in peace.
yes,
Kendrick Lamar, Drake,
yep,
Cole, like that whole Wale, that whole region, a legion of kids at that time were now looking up to me like I looked up to Preem or Pete Rock. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm, not only the artists, but the fans as well. So for me, he's like, oh, gee, man, I got to do something with you. And so we kept in touch.
Yeah.
He started to put out records, and, I was sending beats, and Face the World was one of the joints that he did. But he was like, yo, anything you need from me, any verses you want, let me know. And so he ended up doing a record for Rhapsody on She Got Game project.
Yep.
And another artist of mine, GQ, he did something for him on Rated Oakland. So it was always a great relationship with Nip. He always, we always had a great respect for him and his brother. Like every time they see me, it was always love. The last time I saw Nip alive I saw him at All-Star Weekend in Charlotte, in North Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
I saw him, and in typical Nip fashion, he was talking to somebody, whatever. And he came over and spoke to him. OG, how you doing? Da, 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 da. That was the last time. I saw him 2 weeks prior at the Rock Nation brunch. Yeah. And we talked, but that was the last time. And we truly lost a good one.
Yeah, we did.
But he was truly talented. He truly had paved his own lane, and he was making a turn, not only music-wise, but spiritually. I think he was making a turn.
Yeah.
I think that trip that took him back to Eritrea, where his people are from, kind of changed him. And to see, to East Africa, to see where he came from, and I think that would made him turn the corner. It was some other things too,
Yeah.
What I mean? But that's it. So yeah, that's how that song came about, and I ended up on Crenshaw. And
yeah, it's a great song, man,
crazy,
and a classic project.
Absolutely.
I gotta ask you about this, the Fass Auntie Lounge.
I got the shirt on now.
Yeah. How did the concept come about? Because you got the merch popping too.
You know what, man? I got on IG when all of this started, and shouts. I want to take the time to say shouts to D Nice, because
yes,
the work he's doing right now, it couldn't happen to a better person.
Yeah.
But the work he's doing right now, and past taking his club quarantine, and helping everybody now. You know what I mean? It's incredible. But it was him that kind of kicked off the idea of, I'm not saying that he was the first one to do it, but he was the first one I seen. And he started to DJ online, and I said, let me take a stab at this to DJ online. And I started to do it, and then I did it one night, I did it 2 nights, and I improved my sound, and then I did it a 3rd night. Yeah. I think the first night I did it, I said, man, I was up there 3 hours. I said, I ain't doing this no more. It hurts. And then I did it again. I took some time off, like 2-3 days, and I came back, and they just started, I said, boy, it's a whole lot of aunties up in here. You know what I mean? Because I'm 45. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course. And so, so a lot of sisters is in there my age, maybe a little bit older, maybe a little younger. Yeah. And somebody said something about fast aunties, and I was like, oh, that's it.
That's it.
I said, I said, that's it. So I reached out to a couple of my friends and I said, man, I need a logo. I need something clean, but I need something catchy. And my friends, Jason Maiden, who used to design Jordans for Nike, crazy.
Yeah.
And one of my producers, Amp on the Beat, who also does design work, they both of them came up with the idea of, you know, the font and the lipstick. And I said, man, that's it. Because I wanted it to be driven towards women, because I feel as if women my age have been disenchanted with hip hop for quite some time. And which means just they felt like it stopped speaking to them. Not to say that it's not artists that do, because there's some artists that do, but for the most part, I felt like, you know, in some way, shape, or form, the way it sounds or the way it used to sound, over the years, we've kind of left them out, like they don't matter. I went to school at a HBCU.
Yep, shout out to all my HBCUs.
Yeah, I went to North Carolina Central. I also went to NC State.
Yeah.
And one thing's for certain, I love Mobb Deep just like they did.
Yeah.
And I love Tribe just like they did. And all the music that I love, you know, and it was samples over drums. And that's my way of kind of like making sure that the Fass Aunties are first.
Yeah.
And, you know, make sure that they fall back in love with hip hop again, because it's very important that they stay in love with the culture that raises.
Yes.
And yeah, we trip out of there, man. Like, it's a thing. Like, I never thought it'd turn into a thing, but it's a thing, and people have fun, and I do different things every night, and it's a good time, dog. That's all I can say.
And the merch looks like it's moving too, man.
Yeah, merch is moving. You know, I got people. You know, Jamel Hill bought some. And
yes, I peeped that.
Sean Stockman from Boys to Men bought some. And,
okay.
Ladybug Mecca Diggable Planets bought some, and Spice Adams and Carrie Champion from ESPN. It's
moving.
It's moving. You know what I mean?
It's moving.
Again, I have fun reading the comments. I have fun playing music.
Yeah.
I have fun. People discovering music they never heard. I have fun people discovering samples they didn't know existed, without making them feel like they are supposed to know or need to know.
Right.
Hip hop is all about discovery. I'm forever a student. I'm always learning about the culture, and it brings me joy if I play a sample with somebody like, oh man, I didn't know. That's always the thing. So Fass Auntie is not only that, and my Fass Aunties will tell you, and my cat daddies will tell you too. It's a place where you have a good time, but you also subliminally learn some stuff too. So
facts, man. Well, keep doing that. Keep up all the great work.
I got one tonight. I got one coming tonight.
Yeah, what time is it coming out tonight?
Man, I don't know, man.
But just put that notification on.
Look for the Fass Auntie in the sky, man. I tell them, so yeah.
No doubt, man. So you being the basketball connoisseur that you are, I'm sure you watched The Last Dance.
Jordan's the GOAT. Let me stop there. You there.
I'm not even gonna get it. I'm not even gonna get into the GOAT debate, man.
Okay.
No. I don't even want to go there. I do want to ask you though, who do you think is responsible for the breakup? Because a monkey wrench was kind of thrown into the last episode, and sorry if you didn't watch it, but you should have been watching it.
I watched it.
No. I'm talking to the people. Everybody else. I'm giving a spot.
Else.
Yeah. But who do you think is responsible for the breakup? Is it Jerry Reinsdorf, Jerry Cross, or Phil Jackson? Because according to the owner, he said he approached Phil and was going to give him a 1-year contract, but Phil turned it down. So
I think it's still on the ownership, because
Phil
said, if Phil was going to do it, Phil wanted to do it with his original group. They wanted to keep Michael and just rebuild around him. And Mike's like, nah, like, if I'm not doing it with the same cats I was doing it with, you know what I mean? Then I'm not. You got to think about it, man. Like, throughout that whole time, Mike was never the one to say, okay, we need to go out and get this dude, get that dude. That's what we need to do to bring him to Chicago.
Yeah.
When they ended up with Dennis, they pulled him in the office like, okay, we getting Dennis. And
Yeah.
he was like, and this is somebody that used to whoop him. You know what I mean? Used to whoop Mike.
Beat
It's
him
like,
down. Yeah.
used to beat him down. It's like, well, we got to do what we got to do if he going to do what it takes to win. So I think with Phil, he didn't want to just keep Mike and rebuild with everybody else. That has too much of a synergy. After 6 championships, 2 3-peats back to back, it's like, rebuild for what? Like, and then the next season was a lockout season, so it was only 50 games. So they
Right.
had a chance to win it again. So
That was my
I
next
think it's the
question.
owners.
Do you think they would have won that 7th championship? Because
Yeah, yeah.
who ended up winning that year? The Spurs, right?
The
And
Spurs.
that was Tim Duncan
Yeah,
and
yeah, and they beat
they
the
beat.
Knicks.
Well, the Knicks had no business being there. That's my team, but that was a fluke in itself. Like they were the 8th seed. They had no business being in there
Right.
whatsoever. But I mean, I like to think. Do you think they would have won that 7th championship?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they have nobody to go up against Duncan and Robinson.
I mean, they did. I mean, you know, that was the crazy thing about the era of Mike, man, because you can name so many prominent big men that didn't win it on his time. I
Yep.
mean, Akeem won twice, but Mike was gone.
Mike was gone. That's true.
Like Shaq didn't win it on his time. David Robinson didn't win on his time. Ewing
Yeah.
didn't win it on this time. Like the league now is not filled with classic big men,
That's
right?
true.
And on top of that, back in the day, you can camp out. Your big man can camp out on the lane and they don't call defensive 3 seconds. You can't do that now.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like I think they would have found a way. I think they would have found a way to, because again, you're dealing with, and Reggie Miller said it in episode 9.
Yeah, I love Reggie's analysis.
Yo, he said it. He said it at the end of Game 7 when they lost to the Bulls in Game 7. He said, "I thought we were the better team, but what beat us was championship experience. We
That's
didn't have
right.
it."
Yep.
And a 6-time, 2-time 3-peat Bulls with a 50-win season playing the Spurs. That was their first time being there.
Yeah. And it was Tim Duncan's rookie season. So no,
It's Tim Duncan's season. Yeah.
I'll give you that. I also know you're on that Star Wars heavy too, as in mine. Give me your best Star Wars movie out of the whole saga, if you had to pick one.
My favorite, well, there's a favorite and best is 2 different things.
Okay, give me your favorite and your best.
The Star Wars scholar in me says the best one is Empire Strikes Back. They probably
Absolutely.
Whenever that's the best one. My favorite is Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
But Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie ever made. It's Empire Strikes Back. It reveals so much. It turns the corner. Without Empire Strikes Back, probably the remaining 7 movies are not even being made, because that's the moment in time you find out that this is this boy's kid, and it's like, oh, this just turns everything upside down, and now you got another story to tell, because you really find out the story's not about Luke at all. It's about his dad who got problems.
Yeah.
So that's
and it was so like just dark, and it didn't really have a happy ending. Out of all the Star Wars movies, they usually end on like kind of a bright note, except for that one, and you're just like, oh, wait a minute, that's
it's
the
hanging.
end. Yeah, you
so
like what happened?
Again, that's the time you realize that, like, yo, man, this dude ain't seen his baby in I don't know how long, and they got a relationship to men, and then when Yoda's like, well, when Obi-Wan said that boy's our last hope, and Yoda said no, there is another, then that turns a whole corner.
Yeah.
So now there's a reason to make Return of the Jedi, then go back to make Phantom Menace, and then make it's like, without Empire Strikes Back, you really don't make the rest of the movies.
No, that's real. That's real, man. There've been questions in the comments about you doing a possible versus. Is that in the works? Have you been approached by it?
Of course. I'm lucky, honored and privileged enough to belong to a super chat of producers. It's me, Swizz, Questlove, Premier, Lord Finesse, Buck Wild, Peanut Butter Wolf, Cole, Clark Kent, Just Blaze. Like, we talk every day.
Yeah.
And, you know, Swizz, of course, have approached me about doing the verses. And I told him that, you know, They were like, "Oh man, you and Pete Rock them, you know." And I'm like,
Ooh.
man, I don't know, because at that point you're battling. If it's a battle, you're not battling also against sound. You're battling against nostalgia and somebody's personal nostalgia, which all of these verses are really,
Right, right.
pretty much. So, you know, I thought about it, I was like, no. I said, but I tell you what, though. I said, if we get to a verses where we just drop a sample and cook a beat in 15 minutes, now we do that.
Okay.
I said, but I told him that already. And he was like, I'm working on that. I'm going to see you want to get in the kitchen with you. I said, I make beats on live all the time. That ain't nothing to me. So, you know, I eat that. But I'm just, you know, sometimes, man, I know people look at me at a certain way. But at this particular point, with these verses, man, I just enjoy being a fan, dog. Like, all of this music I grew up on or I studied, man, and I just enjoy being a fan like everybody else. But who knows? I don't know. But I doubt it. I doubt I do a versus, man. It's just I'm in Fass Auntie Lounge too much, man. That's my versus, Fass Auntie Lounge.
No doubt. What's been your favorite one so far, though, out of all of them?
All of them have been funny all of them have been like entertaining for so many reasons. The DJ Premier RZA one was the one I was anticipating the most.
Yeah.
But the sound was messed up. And and this is the thing. It's not about the verses. It's the comments in the verses.
Oh, the comments are everything.
So that one, and every verses has a story.
Right.
The Sean Garrett Dream verses.
Oh my God.
That was a story in itself.
Yeah.
The Babyface Teddy Riley verses.
That was a classic.
Oh my God. The DJ Premier RZA one. The Luda and Nelly one.
That was funny too. That was funny. I think the only one that they didn't have no issues whatsoever was Jill and Erica.
Yeah, the women.
The women, they got it right. They were ready. They had their sound. Their internet was the best.
You know why? Because women are detailed.
Yeah.
Men are stupid. We just want to get up there and we just come on, let's go, let's do it. Nah, man. When it comes to that, women are very detailed. They want to make sure everything right.
That's right.
Just the preparation of when they even meet somebody. It's like the preparation. It's got to be right. The presentation has got to be right.
Oh man.
For us, we don't know. Look, bro, we don't know what we're doing. We might know all the little mechanics or whatever.
Right.
And even if it ain't right, we like, man, just rock with it. Just rock
with it.
Jill and Erica wasn't playing that. They're going to make sure our stuff is right. It's going to be right. And it was right the whole time. So it's crazy.
Man, dude, I could sit here and talk to you forever, but I know you're busy, and I appreciate the time that you've given me. I got a lot of insight out this conversation, and if you're ever in the ATL when things open up, we got a Pandora office down there. We would love for you to come through, brother.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank y'all, man. I'll see y'all on Fass Auntie later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And make sure, think about that versus thing, man, for real, because we there's so many people in the comments like, come on, we need it.
I know, man. Much love to all the people in the comments, man, and I think about it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Well, be safe. We'll talk soon.
Peace.
Later.